it's such a fantastic way to really show your kids hands-on while they're growing up exactly what it means to be alive and to live life and to take pride in something and to watch the fruits of your labor really come to fruition. As corny as that really does sound, that really is what we live out here in rural America. And we take so much pride in that. And we just love passing that on to our children.
Thank you so much for joining us. Zach is more known by his nickname, Millennial Farmer. We're really excited to dive into all of what you do as we continue to celebrate Earth Day. How in the world did you get to be where you are in leading and communicating about farming in a very different way? I'm curious, even with your nickname, how did you get to start to pin the name of Millennial
Yeah,
Farmer?
thanks for having me. First off, the whole reason I started the Millennial Farmer online was because I was trying to figure out a way to relate to people about agriculture. I was seeing a lot of stuff online from people that would say things about agriculture that maybe had a little bit of truth to them, but it was obvious that a lot of them didn't really fully understand exactly what it was that they were talking about and why we use some of the practices that we use. So I was seeing things specifically around like genetically modified seed and drain tile and the way that we treat livestock and using herbicides and pesticides. I was seeing a lot of things around those subjects. And it is true, we use all of those things. But what I wanted to do was really bring to light why we use those management practices and show them that, yes, we use genetically modified seed, but here's why we choose to use those seeds. And instead of trying to hide because I wasn't sure how to relay that information, I wanted to be very transparent about what it is exactly we're doing and why we use those things. And so that was the entire idea behind everything that I started online. And it ended up just completely snowballing and taking off and building itself into this whole brand that is now on pretty much every type of social media out there.
Thank you so much for doing the work you do and also sharing the humble origin story, which is so key to remember how it all got started. But we want to go a little bit further back. Introduce us back to young Zach. Who was he? How was he like? What did he envision he wanted to do when he grew up when?
Like a lot of farm kids, I grew up on the farm. I was raised right here on the farm. I love everything that we do on the farm, and I love growing up here. I can't imagine growing up anywhere else. This is where I love to be. It's what I love to do. Of course, when I was younger, I certainly had ideas of doing other things as well. I really wanted to be a policeman for a long time. Eventually, I ended up going to school actually to learn how to build race car engines. So that was something that I always have enjoyed as well. It's a real passion of mine, is competing and building race cars and engines and that sort of thing. So I love to be hands-on and I love to compete. And I went to school for that, thinking that maybe someday I would own my own engine shop. And I soon realized that really where my heart was at was on the farm. And ultimately what I wanted to do was to go back home and farm. And I didn't want to let that opportunity pass me up. So really felt like farming was my calling the whole time. Yeah, one of the big things that I take away from it is really being able to show my kids now, as somebody who is a father now and who is raising kids on the farm. It's really neat to be able to show them the value of hard work and the meaning of life and the whole cycle from beginning to end, whether it be with livestock or with growing corn and soybeans like we do right now. It's very important to me that those lessons are passed on. And I think that those are lessons that we probably take for granted a lot, but also lessons that I think farm kids get a lot more than anywhere else, right? Because we actually live it, we actually see it. And so I grew up and I have the memories of my dad getting up early in the morning and work very, very hard with the cows and the pigs and making sure that he took care of those livestock to keep them healthy and to keep them fed and to keep them warm and to give them everything that they needed, because that's really our livelihood. And seeing how much he cared for the livestock when he was younger and how much work it took to take care of them and to take care of the machinery and to maintain the land in a way that you hope you're doing things right and you're maintaining it for generations to come. I think there's so much pride in everything that comes along with farming